Hello guys, so today we're going to be multiplying complex numbers. This is going to be the assignment for Wednesday. So this is basically the notes that we're going to cover. This is going to help you out do the assignment just in case you're not in class. So there's three types of problems that we're going to be working on. Now complex numbers is going to be the one that we actually care about and the one that we're going to be taking the longest time in. That's going to be my complex number. So we're going to be multiplying those at the very end. But let's start doing something very easy. We're just going to be multiplying imaginary numbers. So this is an imaginary number with another imaginary number. There's one specific rule that you just have to remember whenever you do this assignment is that I squared is going to equal to -1. Okay, just keep that in mind. But whenever you're multiplying imaginary numbers like number 1, all you have to do is just multiplying your coefficients first and then your i's second. So we're going to do 3 times 4, which is going to give me 12. And then I'm going to multiply I times I. Now, just like x times x squared, right? That's what that would give me. I times I is going to give me I squared. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, I squared is going to equal to -1. So every time you get I squared, we're going to substitute the I squared for -1. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go over here. So I would have 12, right? Parentheses, and that would be I squared, but we're not going to write I squared. We're going to substitute it, so it's going to be -1. Okay, so technically this is what we had before. 12 times I squared, but like we said, we're going to substitute I squared with -1. Now -1 times 12, different signs, they give you a negative whenever you multiply. So my answer for this one is just -12. Okay, so not too bad, not too bad. So let's do another one. Now this one might look tricky, but it really isn't. So we just write it twice. So this one we're going to start with 7i times 7i, because that's 7i squared. Again, we're going to multiply the numbers first. So it's going to be 7 times 7, which gets me 49. Now over here, we're going to have I times I, which is going to give me I squared. Okay, those two are multiplying still. Now, if you remember, I squared, we're going to change it to -1. So we have 49 times -1 is -49. And that is my answer for the second problem. Okay, pretty easy. Let's go ahead and go to something a little harder, right? Now we have what we call a binomial. This is a binomial. Also, it is a complex number because it has a real number right here and it has an imaginary number here, right here. So we're actually starting to multiply with complex numbers. So let's do it. What's going to happen, this I on the outside is going to distribute to the 2 and then to the 9. So let's go ahead and do that. So I times 2 is going to be what? -2i. And then this one times this one is going to give me positive, because 2 negative makes a positive, 9i squared. Okay, so I just multiplied. Now we have to simplify anything that has I squared. And I see right here that the 9 has an I squared, so I'm going to substitute that with -1. That's still plus. That brings it down. So 9 times -1 is -9. So that plus is going to change. And everything over here is going to be staying like this. Now, I cannot leave my answer like this because we always want to put the real number first. So I'm going to switch them. So it's going to be -9 minus 2i. And that is my answer. Okay, not too bad. So we just distribute it. Okay, pretty easy. So let's go ahead and do the next one. Same thing. I have 8i. So that's going to multiply with 3. So let's do that first. So 3 times 8 is 24. So 24i. Okay. Now 8i times -i is going to be -8i squared. Okay. Pretty easy. All I have to do here is what? Simplify this one. So that turns into a -1, and that is a -8. That's I to the 24th power. So those two are multiplied, so that becomes a positive, so plus 8. 24i Now remember, we have to switch it. So it's going to be 8 plus 24i. And that is it. So pretty easy, not too hard. Now let's go ahead and do the last ones. Now the last ones we're going to be using on the right, or on the left, I'm going to be using what we call the FOIL method. And on the left, I'm going to be using what we call the box method. Okay, so it shouldn't be too bad. So let me start with the FOIL method. FOIL method is going to say that I'm going to grab my number, the first one, and I'm going to multiply with 7 first. So what is 4 times 7? It is 28. So I'm going to get 28 on the first one. But then after you do that, you're going to grab that 4 again, and you're going to multiply with the 2i. So once I do that, 4 times 2 is 8. So this is plus 8i. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to select another color. Let me see what other colors do I have here. Can I select a color? Honestly, I don't know. Oh, okay, I think over here I can select different color. Let's do red. And over here, let's do blue. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab the 3 now. The 3i is going to multiply with the 7, which is going to give me positive 21i. And then I'm going to multiply that's the same color? Yeah, that's the same color. Let's pick a red one. Done. Okay, now we're going to pick the 3i and we're going to multiply with the 2i, which is going to give me positive 6i. And guess what? It's not only going to be I, it's going to be I squared, because the 3 and the 2, both of them have a 9, so it's going to be I squared at the end. Now we have everything that we need. We just need to combine like terms and simplify. So first of all, I'm going to combine those two because I can already combine them. So that's going to give me what? That should be 29i. Okay, and I'm going to bring everything else down, right? So it's going to be 28 over here. And over here, I'm going to substitute already that one. So instead of having I squared, I'm going to substitute it with -1. So 6 times -1 there. Now 6 times -1 is going to give me -6. So let me go ahead and write it. Bring everything else down. I like to show my work. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. Now we can combine two more. I can combine the 8 or the 28 and the 6. So 28 minus 6 is going to be 22 plus 29i. And that is my answer for this one. Pretty easy, right? And that is how FOIL is going to work, okay? So follow the lines. It should help you out with that. Now let's go ahead and do the last one, which we're going to be using the box method. If we use the box method, we're going to have to get for a 2x2. On the top, I'm going to put the first a complex number, so it's going to be 5, and then it's going to be 7i. And on the second one, I'm going to put 5 and then -7i. Okay, all we have to do is fill out the boxes. Right here is going to be 25. Right here is going to be -35i. Over here is going to be 35i. And down here is going to be -49i squared. Pretty easy. All we're doing is multiplying. Once you multiply, then we're just going to have to combine like terms. And the way that this one's going to work, you're going to be combining this two first. So 35 minus 35 is 0. So there's not going to be anything else. So those two are going to cancel out. But I got a little ahead of myself. I'm going to write the 25 first. So 25 and then plus 0. And then minus 49i squared. Okay, I put a 0 because those two cancel out, okay? We're going to go ahead and start simplifying. So I'm just going to have 25. And I'm going to bring this one down. So it's -49. And I'm going to change it. I'm going to change that I squared to a -1. So it's -1. And I just multiply. So -49 times -1 is going to be 25 plus 49. 9. Okay, so what am I going to get from there? I'm going to get 4, and I believe that's 74. Yes, so I'm going to get a 74 on that one. Okay, and that's going to be the two methods that you're going to be using to multiply complex numbers. So it's not too hard. It's actually not too difficult. So I was trying to go over this as fast as possible. That way you can watch the video and actually try and do it at home. But that's actually how all of this works. You can do either the FOIL method, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are more comfortable with, or the box method. Both of them work exactly the same. They're going to give you exactly the same answer. All right, thank you guys for watching.